Good morning, John Augustine back again. Some of the events that occurred in the year 2017 in Ireland. On the 22nd and the 23rd of 2017, there was a major storm in Donegal and serious damage was done. On the 5th of September 2017, Jerry Adams, Sinn Fein, the leader of Sinn Fein, announced his retirement as leader of Sinn Fein in November. And on the 7th of September, the government announced it will repay in full international money fund, 5.5 billion, doesn't grow on trees, for Sweden and Finland, who came to the aid of the bankrupt country as it was, with the banks all needing to be bailed out in this country, the AIB, Bank of Ireland, Ulster Bank, etc., Trustees Savings Bank, all lend money to developers that had not such great experience. And so they were copying Anglo-Irish Bank, trying to get in the act, but you have to have good experience of the property market before you venture into that difficulty. And that was their undoing. And the reason for that was that heretofore they only lent money when the deposits were higher than the withdrawals. But suddenly they were getting money as if it was confetti. And when you give somebody too much money, they think it's a bottomless pit and spend. But when the crash comes, they were bankrupt. So I'm afraid the EU was responsible in some ways for that catastrophe. And then on the 10th of September, the Garda commissioner. Now, the Garda in this country, our Garda are called our policemen. It's the Irish Garda. My father was a Garda. Garda. The Garda commissioner, Noreen O'Sullivan, announced her retirement after 3 years in office. It's a fairly tough job and requires a strong, upright character enforcing the law. We'd like to see more policemen on the street and not in cars. You don't learn much driving around in cars. When I was a traveller, I learned more parking the vehicle and going around the towns that I was going to be calling to and getting the feel of the place, etc. It pays off. And if it pays off for a like me, it pays off for Gardaí to be acquainted with the people, and the people will know who they are. They're stuck in stations or driving in cars, and nobody knows who they are. Whereas when my father was a Garda, they were out in the street and everybody knew them. They were part of the community. Yeah, knew them all. So we leave it at that. I think there's enough there to sort of about events. We don't want to hear too much bad news, sure we don't. We like to hear a bit of good news. Thank you very much. So bye now, and I'll do Catholic prayers after this and hang up the boots until this evening.